Steve, great that you joined us this spring. And we've talked a lot about Watercare, and you do a great job with, giving people hot tub school when you deliver the hot tubs here from the head office. And we've found that the customer is so excited to get the hot tub that day that
Yes, they are.
yeah, they're excited. They're what I've seen. They're in love.
It's great to make them happy.
Yeah, they're in love. They're starstruck looking at the new Northern, and you do a great job with showing them how the jets work and the electronics and whatnot. And then you do a great job putting them through hot tub school. And we've learned that it's hard for them to focus on hot tub school because they're so excited about the hot tub. So
That they are.
for that reason, we decided to sit in this hot tub and make this video to try and reinforce all the great things you tell them, right? Firstly, not every hot tub company takes the time to teach the customer how to care for the water as we do. There's a variance in the marketplace.
Mm-hmm.
You had a hot tub.
I did, and I didn't get any water care instructions at all.
How was the experience?
Difficult. I found it challenging to keep my water balanced where it needed to be so that it was comfortable and soft when I was sitting in it.
Yeah. And we've learned along the way that no matter what hot tub you buy, if the water is not nice, crisp, smell good, the hot tub's no good. It doesn't matter what hot tub brand you buy. You need to know how to take care of the water.
Takes away from your experience.
Yeah, it does. No one wants cloudy water. No one wants smelly water. No one wants, all that stuff. So, we make a big effort because we want the customer to have a great experience, and we love our customers a lot.
Yes, we do.
We run into them at the grocery store, and we run into them, all over the place, and they're part of the community, and we really don't want to see them doing service calls.
No.
Although that's what you make a living doing.
Although I make a living doing,
Yeah.
it's nice when they can look after things, and it's a pleasurable experience every time they get in the tub because
Yeah.
they know how to maintain it.
Yeah, and if you take care of the water properly, you avoid the service calls and then getting into the hot tubs. Beautiful experience.
Mm-hmm.
So we make a big effort with it. And then, we know that it has to be easy.
Very easy.
Yeah. Because if it's a chore, then it gets overlooked, and then they stop using the hot tub, and some people even say using, like, having a hot tub's a fad. And it's really not. If you install it properly and you look after it properly, it's a part of a healthy lifestyle.
Yes.
Families are so busy right now, and
Yeah.
they have so much on their plates
Yeah.
that it's nice to have an easy water care program for
Yeah.
them.
So this video is a reference to reinforce what you talk about when you put them through hot tub school on the install, right?
Yes.
So first and foremost, it's a three-legged stool, like we've always talked about, right? We do water care training and pop quizzes almost every day, just just for fun, right? So it's a three-legged stool. Do you remember what the three legs are?
Filtration, sanitation, water care.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it is. So the first one, filtration, the good news is that it's automatic. So the hot tubs, the Northern hot tubs, automatically filter by themselves. Steve, how many times should the hot tub water go through the filter per day?
Entire quantity of the hot tub should go through the filtration system 3 times a day minimum.
Yeah, at least 3 times a day. So when you install the hot tub, single pump, you're setting up the system to automatically filter 4 hours in the AM and 4 hours in the PM.
Yes.
You're setting that up with the customer.
Yes.
You're showing them how to do it on their phone through the Wi-Fi technology, correct?
Yes.
automatic. And then the 3-pump models that we have, they have a dedicated circulation pump and 2 hydrotherapy pumps. So the dedicated circulation pump, what are you setting that one to?
We like to recommend that it runs 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
It's a small circulation pump, doesn't
Yeah.
take a lot of power,
Yeah.
and that way your water is constantly being filtered.
Yeah, and the energy use is low. It's a
Low
very
energy use.
small, yeah. And just a side note on that system, it also pulls a little bit of water from the floor drain. So it pulls anything that settles
Debris.
onto the floor. It pulls it out of the floor automatically. So it's a slightly better system than the single pump. Not a ton, but a little bit more efficient in the filtering. Okay, so filtration's automatic. You know, at headquarters here, where we service our own hot tubs and install our own hot tubs, that's how we set it. You know, that may vary dealer by dealer, but generally it's 3 times turnover 3 times a day, and a minimum amount of filtration. It has to filter. It can't sit stagnant, right? Automated. Second part is, like Tanya said, it is sanitation. Okay, so every northern hot tub, whether it be entry level or top of the line, has electronic water purification. And while the hot tub is filtering, it's using ozone gas to oxidize organic waste and matter. Not bacteria, organic waste and matter. So it's oxidizing it. Okay? It's dealing with it, it's automatic. And really, 80% of the work is handled there automatically. So far, it's easy.
Yes, very easy.
Yeah. Now, you still have to have a little bit of sanitizer. A little bit. And we're recommending bromine. You can use chlorine. They do the same thing. We recommend bromine because we find it smells a little less, and it's a little gentler and milder to the skin. That's why we recommend it. But chlorine, bromine, they do the same thing. Okay. How are you setting people up to introduce bromine into the hot tub?
To introduce,
Yeah, how are they putting it in?
so they're taking the floater that Tanya has,
Yes.
and on the floater we have a gauge. Be difficult to see with the camera, and
What does
it has
it say on it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
numbers
6,
1, 2,
7?
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Right.
So you figure out what your average use is going to be. So if you're going to have an average of 3 people in your tub, if you're going to have an average of 4 people in your tub, you can set it to that number and then lock it down.
Okay.
Once you lock it down, what you've done is you've set the opening
Right on.
to allow that exposure to the water.
Okay.
And what we're exposing to the water is the bromine tablet, which you'll see in this container here. So we fill it with these tablets.
Yeah.
And once we've got it full,
Yeah.
we put the cap back on. And you have 2 options. You can just allow it to float around the tub, or you can put it in your filtration housing, and that just keeps it from bobbing around, which might annoy you, because the water has to pass through the filtration and the filters anyway. So water will pass by the floater, and we can simply just set it inside,
Yeah.
and it's out of sight, out of mind.
I like that one because it keeps it away from the kids, and no one plays with it and changes the setting.
And it's not banging into you.
Yeah. So that's automatic. It automatically dispenses the bromine.
Does its job.
But here's the thing, you know, you don't need a lot. You don't need a lot of bromine, just a little bit. Half a part per million to 1 part per million, probably a little bit less than what the test strip actually says. You don't need a lot. If the 3 that you set it to is too much for the customer, they need to know to turn it down.
Yeah.
If you don't turn it down, what you're doing is you're wasting chemical, 1, And then, you know, when the bromine's high, it's hard on the hot tub.
Yes.
So there's no reason to keep it high. It's got automatic water purification. It's oxidizing organic waste and matter. You still need a little bit of bromine to sanitize bacteria because oxidation doesn't deal with that. Just a little bit. It's kind of the same as the city or the town. They bring the water in from the lake or wherever. They filter it. They typically use UV light as an electronic form of sanitation, and then they put a little touch of chlorine in it just for safety. It's kind of the same. So even though we're telling them to dial it to, if you got 5 people in the home, put it to 5. If you got 1 person, put it to 1. Even though we're saying that, that's not set in stone. You've got to test the water initially during your honeymoon to figure out kind of what's right for you, and then you can set it and forget it. But if you stop using the hot tub, understand the bromine's going to, you know, it's going to build up high, you know, and it will,
Discolor.
yeah, it'll prematurely wear out the pillows and the cover and whatnot. Okay, so that's the key thing. Just because you said 5, that's not set in stone. That's the
Yeah.
general
It needs to be
rule
monitored.
of thumb when you put the hot tub in. And then they're going to have to make a judgment call from that point.
And here at this dealer, we make sure that the customer is taught that.
Yeah.
And taught that they need to
Yeah.
just monitor it and that they
Yeah.
can adjust.
Yeah. So filtration, sanitation, and then the third part is the part that typically blows the customer away, which is the water balance. Okay? And you know, to try and make it as simple as possible, there's 3 parts to that. Number 1, calcium. So typically water has calcium in it, which for a hot tub at the right level is a good thing. Okay, if you put soft water in the hot tub, if you have a water softener at home and you fill it with soft water, not only is the water aggressive because the water is missing a mineral it typically has, so it becomes aggressive looking for it, but it bubbles and soaps easily. So you'll find that you're foamy and you're bubbly and it's not nice. So most times out of the tap it's good. If you draw it from a well, sometimes it's high. Don't worry about it. You have to have calcium. Pull out the prevent too. So the hot tub has an electric heater which likes to attract calcium to build up on it. So as part of your initial maintenance or treatment and part of your weekly treatment, you're putting this product in to hold the calcium in suspension so it doesn't stick to the heater. So calcium is a good thing. It makes the water clear. It makes the water nice to be in for a hot tub or pool. You need to have a minimum amount. Sometimes it's low when we fresh fill, so we do have a calcium product that brings it up. If you didn't, it's not the end of the world. You'll find it foams more, and you'll find that, you know, it's not as clear. So we do have a product to bring it up. It doesn't come typically with it does not come with the starter kit because it's not that often you have to bring it up. Typically it's high. There's nothing you can do to take it out. You just make sure you keep it in suspension so it doesn't coat the heater. So calcium's simple to understand, right?
Yes. Yep.
And then the next part is your pH, which is, you know, high pH is basic or scaling, and low pH is acidic or, yeah, it's damaging, right? So you want your pH to be neutral, just like the shampoos and the
That you put in your
lotions.
hair. Yes.
Yeah, they're saying it's pH neutral
Yes.
because pH neutral is not acidic. It's not basic. Basic or scaling.
Yes.
pH neutral is good for a pool, right?
Yes.
It doesn't scale it up. It doesn't damage the hot tub. Okay, that's pretty simple to understand. And then the third one is the total alkalinity, which is a bit tough to understand, but to make it as easy as possible, the table.
It's the table.
That what?
that balances out your pH. Your pH will naturally
It sits on the table.
sits on the table. So if your alkalinity is in the correct range, then
Yeah.
you shouldn't have to play with your pH that much.
Yeah. So the total alkalinity, it's on the test strips. When it's in the right range, you know, there's not a lot of acidity. There's not a lot of scaling. It kind of just sits neutral, and it's the best place to be. And then the pH sits on that. So if your alkalinity is off and you try and adjust your pH is just going to
Fluctuate.
revert back to whatever the table is, which is the alkalinity. So you always adjust the alkalinity first. And then, if you need to, you can do some fine tweaking with the pH. Most often you'll find you don't have to touch the pH much if the alkalinity is correct. And that's the part there that most people find the hardest to wrap their minds around,
Yes,
right?
I agree.
Yeah. So when you fill from town or city water, you're going to find that the pH and the alkalinity is near perfect. And the reason is that the town balances it because they don't want to damage the municipal plumbing. That's the reason. So it's normally pretty perfect, right?
Makes sense.
If you draw from a well, quite often you're going to have high total alkalinity, most often. And you're most often going to have high pH. So you'll have to use a pH down product to bring that down. And you know, once you have it down, unless you add source water that's high in alkalinity or pH, it typically stays where you balanced it, right? So you've got calcium, which is simple. You've got total alkalinity. You have test strips for that. And that one's really important. If you don't deal with your total alkalinity, Steve Lamrock will come in Grey County, okay? And you will be changing parts and components and whatnot because they'll prematurely, they'll wear out quicker than they should because the water is either acidic or it's full scaling and it clogging things. So the total alkalinity is the critical one. It's the table the pH sits on. Make some fine tunes on the pH. Like, don't obsess with it. Like, don't be out there every day with a test strip checking the pH. Get your total alkalinity done properly once a week. Make any fine adjustments on your pH and you'll be in good shape. So Steve, when you deliver the hot tub, just give me the summary of what it is you're covering and show.
So I have a copy of the guide that we give the customer, Len, and I'll just summarize it.
Yeah.
It has all the important information that the customer needs, and we won't go through it in detail, but it tells you all the points are highlighted, and then the fine details are in the smaller print below. So the first thing I want to summarize is the fresh water fill.
Yes.
When you first fill the tub, when I install it, and then once a season, it should be drained and filled again. Very important to shut your tub off before you drain it. You don't want your pumps running without water. They're not designed to pump air, they're designed to pump water.
Right.
Some of the important things are the spa ball. As you've talked about the filtration, we also have a spa ball which absorbs all the different oils and things from our body. And we can also place this in with our dispenser, which is a good place for it to be.
Simple.
And it floats. If it becomes saturated with the oils and the products in the tub that we don't want, then it'll sink to the bottom and we know we have to change it. So it's very simple. On the guide, it tells us all the things we need to do on a fresh fill. It tells us exactly how much of each chemical we need to put in. And then it's broken down further from there to before and after use, every time we get in and out of the hot tub. And then it talks about what we need to look for on a weekly basis. So we can look at this chart and or guide and know what we need to do once a week.
How long does it take weekly?
It takes about 15 minutes once a week. And as you get used to the routine, it just becomes very easy to remember. I would recommend always use your guide, but it's very simple. It's also broken down so that you have a guide to tell you what to do monthly. Each month, exactly what to look for, along with the other items. It discusses spring, summer, fall, and winter, as we talked about. 4 times a year, once a season, we should drain and refill our tub. And then it has annually at the bottom when we should be replacing our filter cartridge. Whereas the rest of the year, we're cleaning it once a year. It's recommended that you replace the cartridge filter.
Great. So each hot tub has a Watercare guide, and they are located under owner support. If you lose yours, they are made specific to the hot tub. The doses are perfectly made for the hot tub. We laminate this and give it to the customer when we deliver it. Believe it or not, some customers try to go to Dollarama, and they try to go to Walmart, and they try various tactics, and some things are very surprising to maintain their hot tub. And you know, you're welcome to do it the way you feel fit, but I will tell you that this is a program that works. It's meant for you to have success. It's not expensive. There's no products on here that we're trying to sell you that you don't need, right? Like that's
No.
very common.
Yes.
All right, and it's a recipe for success. If you don't use our recipe, fine. You know, you need to use a recipe or a program for success. But if you try to use this and interchange Dollarama product, Walmart product, Home Depot product, chances are you're not going to be very successful in what you're doing.
No.
So, yeah, I guess the message is you use this one and enjoy, or and that one will work.
Mm-hmm.
But don't try to switch it out with other products, because the dosages are different and the products are different, and you know, the way they interact are different.
It's hard for us to troubleshoot too then when somebody else is using a different product, because we
Right.
don't know what the concentrations
Right.
are, right?
Right.
And the feedback I'm getting from this guide, Len, is the customer finds it very easy to follow, and they appreciate the fact that it's there.
Good.
and it's laid out so well.
Okay, great. Yeah, so to close out, I mean, there's a lot of information here today, and you know, you'll get the hang of it, you know, quickly. It's not difficult. But if you need to reach out to us, feel free to call or feel free to email, and we're always here to help you.
Always on the other end of the line for you.
And the Northern Hot Tub site has a lot of information in the owner's area, and videos and information, and it's all there as well if you so choose to read it.
Great. Happy hot tubbing.
Happy hot tubbing.
tubbing.